Hey y'all, how's it going? Railroad Captain back again. Do a little follow-up to the last video that I had there and give some ideas and kind of show them more about how I built the railroad. I didn't, or the layout up to this point. Didn't do that a few years back. I didn't think, about documenting that sort of thing. Kind of wish I had of now, but we'll show a little bit more here. And about, little techniques and things that help and might help you out a little bit. Everybody's different ways, more than one way to skin a cat, but I'll show you what I've done and see if it'll help you out any there. And we'll go from there. Like I said before, you figure out where you want to put it, how you're going to put it, how much room you've got, whether you're, using your basement or wherever you're going to end up building out at. And that'll help you a whole lot of ideas to try to do this up front, of course, and then you can kind of go from there. Another thing is make sure where you put your layout at, that you've got room to do what you want to do and to be safe about it. You may not be able to use this much of your basement or attic or any other place that you did decide to put it, and that's fine. You do you, but there's just certain things. I have seen photos, I've seen stuff online, and people here snaking around their heating and air unit. You know what, I'm sure there's codes where you live that you're not supposed to be within so many feet or inches of this sort of thing, and you know what, don't do it. Why would you? That tears up. How are they going to get to it? You're going to have to destroy your layout to get to it. You don't want to be so close to something either that you're going to, set something on fire or, have a mess. You need to make sure that you've got room. I mean, just like my lift bridge, I've got it almost 3 feet wide, so I can get through, do what I need to do. One of these days, if we're lucky, we're going to get old and it's going to be even harder to get around things, and you've got to have the room. I've made sure that I've had close to 3 feet clearance on everything. And, water pipes are the same. I don't have anything overhead here, but don't build, you don't want to be under your water pipes or anything. You definitely don't want to be near the water heater, If it's in the corner where your stuff's at there, you need to, try to replan, figure something else out different on that. You don't need to be around that sort of stuff. It can be dangerous. It's a hazard. And if anything's got to be repaired, replaced later on, it's going to be a big headache. So that's more stuff that it really helps to think ahead on stuff like that. As far as actually building the framework and the layout, I was lucky. I had an amazing teacher who taught me a whole lot of things growing up, and that was my grandfather. He built my first one here when I was 3 or 4 years old for Christmas. And it's funny, kind of just for sentimental value, I left this old school yucky green, painted sawdust that you used to get years ago that was put on the original one, and I left that on that. Of course, he put the paneling and stuff around it. But kind of giving my ideas on some stuff here. We kept it simple. Most of the time, plywood top on this is about a 3/8, I think was what was used. And that's what I got for everything that I've built on since. And, you see a lot of 2x4s, that's your standard stuff to build anything. And he made the choice, probably, save a buck or two, the 2x2s, and framed everything out with that. Now, if you do that and you do it right and brace with it, you can actually save a whole lot of money. We're not going to be, putting a car or something on top of this. So it's not like it has to hold up thousands of pounds. You want it sturdy. You want it to where it doesn't move. Now, the main thing with your 2x4 framing, or your 2x2s, I'm saying now, these were 2x4s that ripped, they call it. They were ripped in two to make 2x2s. You'd never want to buy 2x2s at a hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot's, whatever. They're terrible. You're not going to find any straight ones, much less the ones when you get back are going to be straight. They're all going to be warped. 2x4s are bad enough as it is. I've had them warped on the way home. I mean, they're just a pain in the butt to fool with, but that's what you got to deal with. At least when you do it, you're picking things out, and I'm picky on stuff. So you're picking your stuff out yourself when you go down there, and unlike what somebody else would, it, you know, probably wouldn't care one way or another. So, you know, the main thing is just simple construction. You know, it's just like building a table, you know, your legs, your cross braces, you know, you just kind of learn as you go, and kind of, you know, I try to space things out. That's the way he did. Then you can always add shelves and things underneath it. As I added more to it here and come on around with everything, I tried to keep kind of the similar idea. Screws are definitely better. You want to make sure to not go too big on these screws and bust out your wood, and it's real easy to do. A lot of these, to get these legs fastened on, these are so handy, these little L brackets here. Most of them come with their little screws. I actually found like a gigantic box full of them on eBay that were put them down to maybe half price of what they are to buy a pack of them at the hardware store. So, you know, you can always be on the lookout for that. But once you put all this in here, and it's sturdy, it's not going anywhere. And then as you go, and then ever so often, I actually cut OSB and made my corner braces on everything to help hold everything up and make everything steady. And then when you get to your next section, you know, you build up and, you know, a couple feet wide. And then you can see here more braces. And like I said in the other video, I put everything up off the ground on the bricks. Just God forbid that the water, you know, ever have another water issue, just to try to keep that from being a bigger problem. But like I said, these things are so handy. You can pretty much, you know, most of it down here done by myself over the years. Very sturdy, and the more you go, the more you add on, and it cuts down. Remember, if you're ripping 2x4s to make 2x2s, be very careful with that. And they will eat up saw blades. That's the only thing. I end up having to buy 2 or 3 saw blades. That'll eat them up. But if you're not done a lot with carpentry and stuff, just, you know, main thing, saws, cut that finger off, it's gone. So y'all be careful, you know, it's just part of it. I guess being from the country and stuff like that, and having a good teacher growing up, is a lot of the stuff that I probably take for granted that a lot of y'all don't, that's maybe never fooled with nothing like that. But everybody's got their thing that they're good at and they're not good at and whatnot, and if not, you might have some buddies that can help you out with stuff like that. You know, and the main thing, you just don't get in a big hurry. It's this, doing this prep work, it's not as fun, and the building part may not be as fun, but you can make it that way. Might have fun with it. You know, get a buddy to help, and then get done. Y'all, you know, hey man, give me a hand with this, I'll buy lunch. You know, I bought several lunches over the years for help, even on the Harleys, and I've had people buy me lunch. Dude, can you come help me put a piece on my Harley? Or can you help me with my old truck, or I need anybody to help me with mine? Well, yeah, that's cool, man. No problem. That's part of it, and enjoy it. Have fun with it, you know. And my new part here, I've added on just in the last couple of months and done with that. And just like with the bridge, you know, y'all, everybody's been so supportive and just really loved the lift up bridge and everything. You know, I never done anything like that before. Just give it a try. Soldering was not a big thing for me. I hadn't had a lot of experience with that, and I still need to practice more and go from there. But there's so much that you can do once you get things built the way you want it and decide how you want to do. The foam board, I got it because I want to be able to add more level, as far as, you know, even somewhere it's super flat like Indiana, it's really not that flat, people. You know, I don't want this looking like it was, you know, it's the way it was when I was a little kid. It was just flat as a pancake. I had some models on there. I had my little town fixed up, and you know, I want to be more realistic now, and this is so much better to work with that, but Lord knows it has went ridiculous. I mean, in the last 3 years, this stuff is 3 times more than it used to be. So, you know, you always want to save a buck, so you want to figure out what you got to start with and to go from there. And, you know, looks like anything else. Look around, figure out what you want. Stuff's cheaper here, cheaper there. You know, you get what you pay for, but you can go from there. Once you figure out, you get building and you get more comfortable with it, and you can just move right along and do what you need to be doing. Just make sure you do your braces. I always fasten one of these to the other a lot of times with the flat braces. Keeps everything from moving around, you know, even like down in here, you can see right there's one. Put these braces in and fastened all this together, and, you know, it really makes an amazing difference. Right there you can see where I've added those up, and once you start building, you can figure that out. You know, if you've got something that's got a, you know, you got a little bit of wobble here, it's like, oh, okay, I'll go back and I'll add another brace here, another brace there, and I mean, just within a little bit, stuff starts coming together for you, and that's fun. It's nice that you can do this sort of thing, and then you look around and go, wow, I built this, and you know, I did. It's a pretty cool feeling. And no matter what I do, if it's this, the trucks, the bike, I hear Grandpa in the back of my head, you're not doing that right. Let me show you how. And thank God for him. You know, he was amazing. He really was. Hopefully you got somebody can help out with some things like that, or maybe you can be a help to someone like that. And of course, once you get things to a point, then you can start being what I call prettying things up. You know, I put the sides on, which really helped too, as far as stabilizing everything, putting these sides on. I didn't have any more of Grandpa's paneling to match up with, so, you know, I've got this enclosed down through here now. I'll get me some paint later, and I'll paint this brown, you know, match it up close as I can, and be able to go from there. So that hopefully that gave you a little idea on how the stuff was built. You know, it's like anything else, just standard carpentry type stuff. You know, measure twice and cut once. You know, it's better to cut it a little too long. You can always go back and cut a little bit more off, right? But you can't go back and add more to it after you still not found a board stretcher anywhere. I guess they're all on back order still. You know, they're still not been able to find any board stretchers anywhere. So, and the main thing too, you get it, once you get to this point, you get it to where you want it, right? And kind of one last thing here to go by too that it always strikes me a little funny is, I hear this, you see it online all the time, people ask this question every day on these forums: how tall should I put my layout? How tall do you want your layout? Seriously? I mean, not to be a smart aleck, but dude, that's your deal. It ain't nobody else's. That's on you, okay? You know, I used to work 50 hours a week and have to stand up 12 hours a day, and my legs couldn't do it. I don't want to stand up. Luckily now I've got a job I can sit down, but I don't want to stand up any more than I have to. I'm not coming home, so I've got my stuff down low enough that I can, you know, sit down. I've got, you know, whether it's with the chair or the, you know, bar stools come in handy for that. But put your height, whatever you want it, what's comfortable for you. If you're going to do a double decker, you know, you can adjust for that. I can tell you right now, I'm not. I'm done with that. 20 years from now, I'll be lucky if I've got this done. Somebody said that here a while back. They said, well, you won't have this finished in 20 years. It's not the point. It's the ride. It's the getting there. That's the fun part. I'm not in a hurry. I see these guys, I got to get this done. I've got a video, you know, done a video, done a this, done a that. I've got to get this, I'll have this done, I'll have it done. Really? And enjoy while you're doing it, man. Enjoy it. It's the whole point. in the summertime, you know, I got my Harleys and I got my truck. I got projects to do with them, and then just I love going to car shows and working on the bike. I'm going to start putting the air conditioning on the antique truck, and that's going to be a fun project. And most of the time during the summer, unless it's a rainy day, I don't do much with the train, and that's fine. It's not a rush thing for me. It's something to have something to do from now on and enjoy. So we'll take our time and we'll get there when we get there. So I want to thank y'all for stopping by. Had some amazing amount of likes and views, and but now it'll say I've had you know, so many views, and there won't be 9 out of 10 subscribed. So please subscribe if you hadn't. You might want to come back and check it out. If you got any questions, leave me a comment. If it's something I can steer you in the right direction or help you with, don't care too, but one bit. Hopefully, you know, we all enjoy our hobbies and get something out of it and go from there. So thank y'all once again, and please subscribe if you hadn't, and y'all have a big weekend and take care, and we'll see you the next time. See you.